All right, let's try a new one. This is number 7 of the practice. We need to graph, right? So first I just need to figure out 2 ordered pairs in order to graph a quadratic function. That's all I need to use a quadratic function here. There is, well, if I just make an xy chart. If I use 0 for x, 0 squared is 0 times 1/9 is 0. So 0, 0 is an easy one. What's another x value that makes sense? If I substitute in 1 or 2 for x, I'll get a fraction, which is not going to work. But however, if I substitute in 3 for x, what I get is 3 squared times 1/9. I guess 1/9 times 3 squared, whatever. And you end up with 9 times 1/9, and the 9's cancel. So you're just left with 1. So those are my 2 ordered pairs that I need. So let's click to enlarge the graph. I'm going to get rid of the work I did. And I'm going to, so 0, 0, and then 3, 1. So it's that parabola for this one. Obviously you're going to get a different parabola, but you'll be able to graph it in a similar way. Again, just make an XY chart. Pick 0 for x, that'll be an easy one, and then pick a value for x that's going to get the fraction to cancel out, well, at least the denominator to cancel out, and it won't be a fraction anymore. That way you get an ordered pair. All right, so I'm going to check my answer on that part. All right, I'm good with that. Now we're going to continue to the second part. In class, in period 5, so period 6, if you're not going to understand what I'm talking about, but in period 5, like I messed it up at the end, right? I had the right interval. However, I didn't read the directions. Okay, so the directions simply say type an inequality. So it's asking for an inequality, not for the interval. So while my answer was correct, I didn't answer it in the form that the system wanted. So I just gave you a perfect example of what can go wrong when you don't read directions. Okay, so I was doing that clearly for your benefit. Again, the domain for this is all real numbers, and the range is going to be from 0 and up, right? So C is going to be the answer because that's the one that says the domain is all real numbers, and then I can input the range, right? B is saying the range is all real numbers, so I'm not going to type that in. D is saying the range and the domain are all real numbers, and again, the range is not all real numbers, so it can't be D. And then A would be where you would input both, and that's, the domain is all real numbers, so I'm not going to put in a inequality for that, so A is out. So it's C, and then the inequality is simply, right, it's from 0 and up, so it's the y values that are greater than or equal to 0. So I'm going to type that in. Wrong button. Yeah, regular. All right, so y is greater than or equal to 0. That means the same thing that I had in class in period 5, but I gave it an interval notation and it asked for an inequality. So that's why I got it marked wrong. There you go. I'm going to check my answer on that, and now I got it. All right, so I want you to try that out on your own, and let me know if you have questions on that or any other questions on any other question. Again, you're doing 1 through 10 for practice by Tuesday. Okay. All right. Let me know if you have other questions.